right, we got the secret cheating box that ruins your favorite shooter. Oh dang, and it's flagged under Apex. Ooh, is that telling? Ooh, is Apex getting outed? Ooh.
A specter is haunting online FPS games.
Ooh.
It's called Zim. In fact, it's so popular that people use the name of this device like a verb now.
Really? Oh my god, I just had a Zimmer in my lobby. Was defending bro because he was on Sojourn with a hard mercy pocket, but bro is not console. I'm so sorry. Okay. Some dude is zimming on console. On console, every going to be dealt with. Feels like every game I play against one in ranked. Yeah, zimming is cheating. Yeah, that's a verb.
That guy's zimming. You get it.
Oh, Caleb on Zim. Caleb on Zim.
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah, in the world of FPS, it is like a compliment if you are accused of cheating. If your game like has some sort of a kill cam or something, or you're just good enough to like realize that like, oh, that person had a bunch of headshots on me, where that's really hard. Much the same way with working out is. If like you're working out and someone like compliments you on like, oh, you looking good, big man, or oh, what's up, man? I need to get whatever you're having. Like if somebody like lightly accuses you of like doing some PEDs or some shit like that, you're like, oh yeah, shit, nice man, I'm looking good. You know, it's like a soft compliment. And so I would say most people that play FPSs are younger. So in order to like gain clout, they'll be like, yes, I'm cheating. Yes, I'm cheating. I'm Caleb on Zim. I'm zimming. I'm cheating. I'm doing this. I'm aimbot Joe Schmo. And all these other goofy names to like kind of fan the flame of, could he be cheating? Is he that good? Oh.
No. That doesn't mean he's Zim. Hold up. He might just be running a fast sense.
These small devices have caused big problems for the competitive communities in many console FPS games.
Every single match is like, oh, like this next one, I'm probably gonna face a mouse and keyboard user, and then you see them flicking around, and you're like, oh, of course, it's a mouse and keyboard user.
But
what that mean? What that mean, bro? What game you talking about? What game was he talking about?
Games.
Every single match is like, oh, like
content creator, streamer. For what game?
This next one, I'm probably gonna face a mouse and keyboard user, and then.
What does that mean, bro? M&K bros have to face legal aimbot every time you plug in a roller. What do you mean?
You see them flicking around, and you're like, oh, of course, it's a mouse and keyboard user.
But is this cheating, or is it really a case of?
See, this is just the hilarity and insaneness of what crossplay has done in modern gaming.
Adapt or adapter.
Well, everybody else does it, so why would I not do it? Now, like when people say,
oh yeah, shit, that's a good argument. I mean, well, not really, but I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. And I think this is Rainbow Six Siege with this big X. So I'm assuming Rainbow Six Siege has crossplay, M&K versus roller. I'm pretty sure there's like an age-old debate. I would assume. I don't really play Rainbow Six, but I could just guess. Usually when it comes to like money and like lower middle class people trying to like gain some sort of like thing when it comes to like video games and money and cheating, people don't give a fuck, dude. If you don't cheat, someone else gonna cheat. All right, that's what it is at the end of the day. It's so dumb. Like, I don't cheat because I'm just like, what am I gonna do with it? It's pointless. But I mean, he's gonna raise the question, oh, if I don't cheat, everybody else is gonna cheat, so why wouldn't I do it? I don't think that's like a healthy mindset. I mean, because to his defense, this is true in like all modern day sports. It's just, can you detect the steroid or can you not detect it? Oh, you cannot detect it, then that means he is not on steroids. It's like, by what test? It's literally, it's the most goofiest shit you will ever hear.
said to me, like, for like the reasoning on why they use Zim, I'm like, Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, just get better on a controller. Like,
Yeah.
you're just adding on to the problem.
And with so many of them already
True.
out there, do console developers even have a fighting chance against these things?
Console developers have a fighting chance. It depends on what kind of anti-cheat you implement in your game, dude.
Before we get into today's topic, be sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that notification bell. Also, be sure to check out our new merch drop over at
What is this commercial, dude?
shop.thescore.com. All right, so a little something called Zim and devices similar to it has surged in popularity over the past year or so.
What percentage of top 500 console users are zimming? I've been top 500 a few times throughout OW history. Wait, Overwatch, console. Overwatch is on console? I've never zimmed, and I think it's scummy. Does anyone have any idea of how many of them are actually zimmers, aka scum of the earth? True, dude. I mean, it's Overwatch. It's a predominantly M&K dominated game. I wouldn't really expect, like, maybe less than 5% of the top 500 are on console. And I'm just guessing on that one, taking a shot in the dark. Much the same way, if I look at like the top 500 of like Halo Infinite professionals, what percentage of them are going to be on M&K? Probably that much. All right, you take it with a grain of salt. It goes by game,
stirring up some controversy along the way. If this is the first time you've heard about this, let me explain. Physically, these are converters or adapters that offer various functionalities, and if you've ever owned a fight stick or other specialized peripherals, you're familiar with the basic idea. This can be an external dongle thing or an internal switch, or even a custom PCB that has all the connections you need to connect to different systems.
Yep, and these things, you just install them straight into your computer, so that way when someone comes over, they don't see any like cheaty devices. All they see is a controller plugged in. And, you know, like someone could just easily look in and be like, oh, what's that? It's like, oh, it's just like a PC thing. It's like a RAM stick or something or whatever. You could easily pass this off as like a recording device or whatever to like regular people. But yeah, it doesn't even have to be some sort of like external thing like on the outside, which is like kind of more obvious.
Custom PCB that has all the connections you need to connect to different systems. Now, Zim and devices like it are essentially bigger versions of these dongles, but what kind of functionality are—
Bro, it's got its own app. What the fuck? This is so funny. Bringing cheating to the masses in the form of bringing cheating to the casual masses in the form of apps. There's an app for that. You want to get good at your game? There's an app for that.
people trying to get with these things like Zim? Well, we don't have manufacturer data, and even if we did, I wouldn't trust it. You could do a lot of things with a Zim, but the most common use is plugging in your mouse and keyboard into console games, where that isn't explicitly allowed. Now,
plugging your M&K in on console games. I mean, that's like a... It depends on the game, really. I mean, if your game has like sectioned off lobbies, like I guess like Overwatch has its own dedicated like console lobbies. So if you plug in a mouse and key on a console, well then you're, depending on like the person, they're probably gonna have a little bit of an advantage, because I have no idea like the console. I'm just talking out my ass. I have no idea what the community of Overwatch console players are. I have no idea.
Now, why are people doing things like this in the first place? Well, it's so they can get better results in game.
Like, the Overwatch console community is about as silly to me as the M&K Halo community. It's like, why? Or if not, if you don't want to use the M&K, what'd I say? The Overwatch console, you could just simply use console Counter-Strike. It's like, that doesn't make sense.
Games like Rainbow Six Siege or Overwatch.
The main reason why people use mouse and keyboard on console is because there's no aim assist in Siege. So aiming with a controller is very hard. If you have mouse and keyboard, it's just going to be easier. It's just a fact of life.
Not necessarily. Like, So you don't have aim assist on Rainbow Six Siege on controller. All right. That's a dang. I actually had no idea. So what do you just play? Do you play like a slightly lower sense or a slightly higher sense on controller? So then you plug in a Zim. You can use M and K, but it's not like plugging in an M and K is just going to automatically make you better. It's not like if you have 0 M and K experience in all your experiences on controller, you don't just like plug it in and you just start clicking heads. All right, that's not how it works.
Have to play differently because like they're just gonna have so much better aim than you. Like you're gonna
No, unless there's like some sort of program in the Zim to give you like a little bit of aimbot or some shit like that. No, that's a no.
people who like you can easily compete with the Zims 100% because most of them who use them are not smart by any means. So if you have like a brain to positioning and game sense, you'll win 100%. Like it's not like it's stopping you from, you know, at all ranking up.
So sure, aiming with the mouse is gonna be better, but in some
No, it's not. Granted, it depends on the environment. I think a lot of the times in Rainbow Six, that's like a lot of close quarters fights, if I remember correctly. And since neither, what do you call it? Neither input has aim assist. Well, M and K is going to give you a little bit more freedom. I'll give you that, because with a controller you have to, you know, oh, is 3-3 good? Is 3-4 good? Is 4-4 good? Is it like fast enough? It's good enough at this range, but not good enough at that range. You're always like messing around trying to figure out the right sensitivity on your controller. A lot of the times, you should be aiming to like slowly increase your like sensitivity, because you're gonna have an increased like capacity to like produce like skill or whatever with a controller. Like if you play on like a really slow sense and you turn like very slowly, yeah, your shots will be like stable and whatever, but all somebody has to do that has like 0 aim, they can just run in on you, get behind you, and since their sensitivity is faster, they can rip a 180 and you're sitting there like doing that and it's out. It's done.
Some games, you also get aim assist, and that's where this gets really out of hand.
Oh.
With that said, let's throw it over to Colton to talk about how these things work and what companies are doing about it.
And now, the guy who actually knows what he's talking about.
Oh.
Thanks, Seb. Sorry, I'm a little out of sorts. Normally I'd have a quip for Dimitri here, but I can't do that to Seb. He's a nice guy. Well, many developers hadn't figured out what to do about Zim and hadn't even acknowledged it as a problem.
Bro, what is this dude watching right here? he just outed himself. Oh, okay. Yeah. If a developer is even thinking about the words esports in their game, it's not enough for them to come out with a game like a good FPS title that has good gameplay. It's simply not enough. If you want to have some sort of like competitive mode in your game, you have to come out with an anti-cheat system, or at least license some other anti-cheat system like into your game if you don't want to make one. I mean, yeah.
Until this year. In March 2020.
And arguably, so few games, like if you look at like a single player game, all they have to do is just make a good game with good gameplay, and then it's like a one and done. Like, it's done. Maybe you come out with some like patches to like balance the numbers or a little bit, or maybe take a couple frames or speed up an animation or slow an animation down, fix some bugs and whatnot. But for the most part, the bulk of the work is done when you make a single player game and you just like toss it out there into the abyss of the market. With games that want to stay around and have some sort of like lasting impression, half of the work is making the game. The other half of the work is maintaining the competitive integrity of the game. And it's always going to be some sort of cat and mouse round the circle of I come out with an anti-cheat, cheaters go around it. I got to come out with a new anti-cheat. The cheaters will find a way to go around it, and it's constant.
23, Ubisoft announced Mousetrap, a program they developed to help identify Zim users and then lightly troll them, not ban them. Activision announced.
Why wouldn't you just ban them? Why would you troll them? That's so pointless. Like, you're not helping anybody doing that. If you make a program and you 100% know someone is zimming, just be like, oh, ban.
Announced in April that Ricochet anti-cheat.
Because then what happens? The Zim person, okay, they go, oh, I got banned because they detected my Zim. Now I need some sort of like spoofer to make it so I make it so that they can't detect me. Then, oh, the Zimmers like crawl up out of the dirt again. It's like, oh, the game is hurt by more people zimming and da 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 da. And then the devs don't know what to do. Like, the devs can get to like maybe square 1 or 2, but it's very hard for them to get to square 3 or 4 in this like circle of cat and mouse chase.
Would target Zim-like devices. And Blizzard hinted at some vague changes to Overwatch 2 that were still pending as of September. But these pesky adapters have a far longer history than these measures would have you believe. Their big moment actually happened around the time Dr. Lupo let the world know exactly what a Zim meant for Destiny 2 on PC. But how did we get here?
What?
First, I think it's...
And I am completely in the dark on the competitive environment of Destiny 2. That is way into left field for me. I thought Destiny was mostly like a controller game, but it was a good game. Like, it's not a bad game. It's a good game. I just didn't know how involved the competitive scene was to make it. I didn't know people were cheating in Destiny 2 competitive. I'll say that. So this is news to me.
It's important to note that the reason Zim is so popular is that, well, mouse and keyboard is the absolute king of inputs for FPS.
I mean, yes, it is, but it's not like you can just plug it in and you're just auto good. It takes a long time to get good on M&K.
There are some games, like Apex Legends, where aim assist for controller players gives them a fighting chance against mouse and keyboard purists.
Yeah, I mean, Apex, the aim assist is like, you get like some rotational, you get a little bit, you get slowdown and you get rotational, and it's about 40% on PC and then 60% on console, which is, in both cases, it's still about half. So it doesn't matter which way you're cutting it. And then I think on finals, they just recently nerfed it down to like 35%. So, yeah.
And if anyone was doubting the strength of what the community has dubbed Roller, Apex Esports superstar Imperial Hal already showed us what it was capable of. He switched from mouse and keyboard to controller, and he won a f***ing championship.
Many.
So I decided to switch to controller. And it's the first LAN I played on controller, and I got MVP, won the LAN, so I feel like I worked, I took a big risk.
Yeah, it's legal aimbot. That's what it is. The devs deem this percentage of aim assist to be okay, but it's kind of funny. It's like, this percentage is good, but this percentage is not good. And like, in concept, it makes no sense. Like, there's no reasonable, logical thing to be like, this much is fine, but that much is not fine. Especially in the case with Apex, where you have 2 different aim assist percentages. Oh man.
Playing controller,
it is what it is.
I haven't played it for a while, and it all paid off.
There are even sickos out there like Royal Penguin, who you saw earlier in this video, who play controller on PC of their own free will.
So for me, it's very different. So like I started off on console and then I went to PC. I do controller PC. So I hit controller PC champion. I'm voluntarily versing mouse and keyboards.
For us mere mortals though, without aggressive aim assist, it starts to look pretty grim for thumbsticks when you pit them against a mouse.
Yeah, because it's hard for most people, for like 90 to 99% of people, it's very hard to put a reticle onto someone's head. It's a simple act. Depending on the time to kill your favorite FPS, it's just hard to do. And not only is it hard to do, if you could do it, you need to do it consistently and under pressure with your nerves shaking. So yeah.
And there's pretty good reason for that. A long time ago, psychologists were laying the groundwork for deciding how humans, particularly lay people, could best interact with computers. The most common strategy that emerged is something generally called the pointing device, and its most common form on the PC today is, you guessed it, a mouse. We take mice for granted now, but there are still other options. Ultimately, a proposed model for computer-human interaction called Fitts' Law seemed to best express the problem.
And basically what it says is the difficulty of a movement is related to the size of the target you want to hit, as well as the distance you have to travel to hit it. So therefore, performance in this sense is related to how fast you can perform that movement.
The mouse has many other advantages as well, like the fact that it just holds itself up and easily stays stationary. But ultimately, it's precise, works well in tandem with the multitude of human joints, and doesn't obstruct the screen. So it's no wonder that people would want access to mouse and keyboard.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to say mouse and key is like so good, yada yada, but they still haven't raised up the fact that if you take a regular person and put them on M&K and a regular person and put them on controller, depending on the game, they're probably going to perform better on the controller. It's just, it is what it is. Mouse and key is, like, you do have a lot of skill capacity, like skill ceilings very high on M&K, but like these guys are saying, if you just give someone a mouse, it's like, it's easier. It's like, it's not that easy, dude.
In a world where everyone else is flicking sticks.
In gunfights, one-on-one gunfights, like, you have to have better positioning than them because they're just gonna have better aim than you. Like, you're using 2 analog sticks and they're using their entire arm.
Now in nearly...
Oh, the classic. Oh, I love this one. You got your entire arm and all I have is my little thumbs. Oh, oh my god. This is like the most watered down Steelman version of like the arguments that are that just plague the banter of back. You know what this feels like? This feels like a crabs in a bucket situation, dude. It's like everybody that's playing video games just bickering with each other, just back and forth over inputs. It's so petty and stupid. And it's not even you know what it seems like? It seems like the developers of whatever FPS that have crossplay in their game, they do it on purpose. It's like they know and they can foresee the future, and they know the arguments that'll pop up in their game, and those arguments will like, it's just going back and forth, back and forth. Oh yeah, they're still talking about our game. Yeah. Aim assist is so strong in this game. No, it's not. Controller's better. No, mouse and key's better. And it's just like, just keep talking about our game. Keep talking about our game. It's like, God forbid someone release an FPS that's actually balanced. I don't know. That's just what it feels like, man.
Every case, Zim and other adapters aren't supported by the companies that develop these games, but they're still everywhere. This has given rise to what is essentially a new front in the war on cheating, and one where not every developer seems eager to fight. Oh, and by the way, some of these...
No, they just want to release a game and let everybody else argue about it.
These adapters control your recoil for you, which is surely considered cheating even without a mouse, right?
I think on Zim, so here's the biggest thing with Zim, right? So the Zim Matrix came out. So basically what that is it's a Zim, but it also is a Cronus, which the Cronus is a no recoil mod.
Jesus.
So what people do, it's built in. So they have a mouse and keyboard, and they have a Cronus mod all in one.
So these things are out there. They are almost overwhelmingly...
This is like hilarious to look at. I know they put this little video clip here of the hilariousness that could happen, but I don't know. I highly doubt it. I mean, there's actually probably like, and it's hooked up to this. Just as an example, this is kind of hilarious to look at. Um, because like as funny as it is to look at, there are probably battle stations that do look like this. There's like some little device here with wires sticking out every which way. It's like a cyber octopus. You got a controller here. It's plugged in for whatever reason. You got your phone there. It's not even out of the way. You got your M&K shit right there on your like $10 like desk wide mouse pad, and then you got this little half keyboard thing. And it's like, and on top of it, this whole situation is like actually halfway decent. Besides like the bad quality like mouse pad. I mean, if he can aim good on it, whatever. But he's not even like, if he likes aiming like this, like far back, like way back here. Like whenever I'm gaming, I got like my stomach is pushed up like against my desk. There is so much room like right here between, I don't know if this is like the edge of the desk, the like between like the desk and like him, which is like right down there. Like your arm is so unstable like in that position. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I could be just like talking out of my ass, but whatever.
Used to give people access to a mouse when they shouldn't have it, and as developers have started to prove, you can absolutely detect them. Whether it's possible for those devs to actually start doing anything about it, well, I'll hand it back to Seb for that.
And that was the guy who...
It's like, I guess this is specifically aimed at the console Overwatch community. I would be willing to bet the amount of people that are zimming in console Overwatch, it has to be like so few, because you can't, like, again, you can't just plug in a mouse and key and just be auto good. It just doesn't work like that. And I'm not condoning that you should be zimming. Like, zimming is fine. Like, if that's not intended, then that's not intended by the devs. Deal with it. The devs want you to play their game their way. If you don't want to play their way, well, then play a different game. It's that simple. Why are you trying to run, like, beat around the bush? Why are we doing this chase?
Actually knows what he's talking about.
So, without the accuracy of mouse and keyboard, gamepad tracking understandably needs and gets a bit of help from the game. And it seems like there are a lot of people happy with the amount that's there.
Since mouse and keyboard has a larger amount of things that they can do, it means that controller is a worse input and aim assist should be left alone.
It's not like controller is completely bad besides aim assist. I would be willing to bet, I would like to see if Rainbow Six, I'd want to see if the Rainbow Six devs could implement some sort of gyroscopic aim with a flick stick. Because the game doesn't already have aim assist in it, from what I was seeing. So why not implement the gyroscopic aim, which gives you the freedom of M&K, and then have it like, so you have like a flick stick, like on one of the sticks or whatever, so that whichever way you flick, your reticle just goes right there. So you could do like 90-degree flicks, like turn 90 degrees, turn 180 in either direction. I mean, yes, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but like the gyroscopic aiming plus flick stick it could be a thing, but I don't know if people want to like rewire their muscle memory. But, you know, if they've been just doing like a traditional controller layout and aiming.
So when it comes to these adapters, the main question right now is whether or not these things are really cheating. For the communities around these games, and in many cases...
Who dis? What dis? Here's my pretty blunt thoughts on the Zim Cronus Zen Max debate. Watch this be like the most lukewarm thing. All of the above should be prohibited. True. They should be against TOS. True. Plus, ultimately result in a ban. True. If you are detected using them. Oh, so if you're not detected using them, then you can't do all that other shit. So, okay, I get you. So if you can spoof all of it, then yeah, no ban. Gotcha. In my opinion, they are cheating. True. If you want accessibility, give console M&K support. Yeah,
the developers? The answer is pretty clearly yes.
It almost feels like a slap in the face for creators in the community when there's like, we do so much to try to build this up and they don't care to protect 75.
They don't care to protect their game that they made. What was it? Wasn't it Call of Duty one time? They just let out a letter one time where it was like, can you guys stop cheating on our game, please? That was the most hilarious shit. The most hilarious PR move. And like the most lazy thing I have ever seen. Like a developer do. Imagine like, oh my god. Imagine like, what was it? Like a sports team or like a sports league. And like the head CEO guy of baseball come up and be like, okay guys, this has been going on long enough. We've kind of swept it under the rug for a while. But we know most of you guys were on steroids, so in an effort to preserve competitive integrity, could you pretty please stop with the steroids? Like, how ridiculous does that sound, dude?
5% of the community from cheaters.
Now, whatever excuses Zimmers might have, it's clear that using a mouse is an advantage. Since a lot of these
Not necessarily, but I get what they're going for.
Devices have built-in recoil compensation too, it's
Yeah.
even harder to defend. If it's doing something automatically so you don't have to, that's an easy thumbs down. But the people who market these devices do have a few arguments in their defense. Firstly, they claim—
Oh, what is the defense? This has got to be the most biggest cope in human history. This has got to be like a steroid abuser trying to rationalize why I need the steroids, guys. I need them to compete. Let's see this. Oh my god. When I heard Microsoft was planning on banning third-party devices, I was so excited. Oh, was telling my friends, finally after 6 years of people cheating in video games, we could finally legitimately win and get our deserved rank in games like Rainbow Six Siege. Damn. However, I just learned that Microsoft is not banning these devices. I'm here to ask the community why. So, it's okay to cheat in FPS games for 6 years. It's okay to break the code of conduct and rules of UBI. I don't know the rules of UBI. When someone says UBI, I'm like, Universal Basic Income? I'm like, what? Call of Duty? Don't even start talking about Call of Duty, dude. Call of Duty is like so far in ignorance, it's just in space right now. UBI states that mouse and key adapters aren't allowed on console. Every match I play, there's someone getting aim assist from their cheating device. R6 Siege has no aim assist in the game. Cheaters are able to have 5 different levels of aim assist with these devices. I mean, if you're cheating, why wouldn't you just use the most strongest level? Why would you bother with like the lightest level? That seems like so stupid. So that's okay? Question mark, question mark, question mark. They just point and click. No recoil. Turn on a dime and bam. You're taken out every time 24/7. How is this fun for 6 years? Bro, what's crazier is you are still playing the game for 6 years and still complaining. Bro, it took me like a year or two to just cope with the fact that I am just not that good at Apex. So I wasn't having fun with it anymore. So I just stopped. But I couldn't imagine still playing Apex. The game isn't even 6 years old. And these people are playing for 6 years and been unhappy with the game for 6 years. Oh my god. This has destroyed UBI reputation and many more companies. I've been playing video games since I was 6. I'm 28 now. Dang. I wasted my life for people to later on cheat in video games. Yes. I even reported such things back in 2017. This is why my main account got banned for trying to protect the gaming community from cheaters. Let's not have high egos and leave lame comments. I'll be posting this on X with a screenshot because this will be taken down. even though this should be talked about. Cheaters are allowed to get away with cheating, and that's not what we're teaching, right? Oh, that's what we're teaching, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude. This person is right with most of the shit. But bro, if you're playing like a live service game, FPS, and you're just unhappy with it, I would just say stop. You're only hurting your own mental, like legitimately. Developers will do something when their pocket starts to hurt. That's the only thing that they will respond to. All this community manager bullshit of like, oh, community this, community like this, community don't like that, community like this, community don't like that. They don't care about that. Like, yeah, they might do something, but unless their bottom line is taking a hit, they ain't doing shit, dude.
That these devices don't break Xbox or PlayStation TOS, which might technically be correct, but according to the developers of the titles played on those systems, that's not necessarily the case for the games themselves. Then there's the general sales pitch, letting players excel with the input devices that suit them best.
Well, honestly, I'm just rethinking about this right now. If you want to play M&K on console, why not just play M&K on PC? Like, I get like PC is like a little bit more inexpensive of a device, and you have to have like a big desk. I mean, you're already playing console on PC, or no, you're already playing console with a monitor, and you have a desk. I would assume because you're playing on M&K. Why not just get a PC? Save up your little dollar dues again, and buy like some either low or mid-level PC. It doesn't have to be like the best of the best. Like I think technology has like come along far enough to where you can get like a pretty decent PC for relatively cheap. Like I say relatively. Like I like $1,000 is still a lot of money, but like you would have to like save up and whatnot. But like I don't know. Like, how much are consoles? Like what I saw the Xbox, I don't know what it is. Like, was that the Xbox One or the PS5? How much are those? $400 or $500 or something? I mean, you just save up double that, and then you can get a PC, and then just play M&K on there, and verse other M&K bros, unless you're what? Afraid? Oh,
which is an admirable sentiment. Ubisoft notably committed to working with players with disability requirements by asking them to contact the devs via QR code if banned. But clearly any competitive environment needs limits of some kind. I can't just bring my giant spin-bot headlocking I win button to a tournament just because it suits me best. In situations where the game isn't on PC and the developer expressly allowed it, like Destiny in Dr. Lupo's case, there's really not much to say. It's allowed. But that—
oh my god. That's hilarious. So I now understand what Dr. Lupo was talking about. Since they don't care that there's no competitive integrity for the game. Okay. The game is pay to win. That is essentially what the devs are saying. This FPS game is pay to win. How so? Go out, buy a Zim, buy a Cronus, plug it in, and then there's your pay to win. All right, these things are relatively cheap. I think a Cronus is like what? Like less than $100? I don't know how much a Zim is. I'm just guessing. I'm pulling numbers out of my ass. I'm pretty sure I could just like Amazon, to be honest. I know you can get what do you call it? You can get strike packs at Walmart. So that tells you that tells you something right there. When you can just go up straight to Walmart and get cheating devices. So whatever.
That excuse is less and less relevant in new games. Call of Duty on PS5 now supports mouse and keyboard natively without a Zim and without the aim assist. Fortnite does too. Another argument you see in defense of Zim sometimes is that using it is like using a flight stick or driving wheel. It's helping you enjoy the game the way it's meant to be played.
Yeah, these are like the biggest cope excuses.
But the way a game is meant to be played in the sense of what is permitted is again up to the developer.
But on Rainbow Six Siege, I don't want to allow you to use it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's their game. Like, brain dead.
But even as more people understand what Zims are capable of, they won't actually get you banned, unlike more conventional cheating methods.
I think that they should have just straight off the bat gone with a ban. I know that would suck to lose a big portion of your player base, but that would bring back more people who would be like, oh, I stopped playing Siege because mouse and keyboard was going crazy. I never won.
You know who this hurts? I'll tell you. So we got this, that is 0, 50, 100. There's the peak. There's this. It's not a penis. All of this, like most people will like land somewhere in here. This hurts, like the whole zimming thing. This hurts these guys the most. And to some degree, like, I don't know, like right here. Like if you're a casual and you actually like the game and you want to progress in the game, but maybe you're not good enough to be like on that professional level. Like you're not like tippy top. You don't have like a set of the boys to come in and just stack games with and whatnot. Maybe you're just like a really good solo, or maybe you have a friend that comes on once in a while, or maybe you have like a couple friends on. It's like, I would say this hurts this group of people the most. The people that start to get good, and then they like try to watch some videos, start consuming more content. They try to figure out like plays and shit. They try to start to get better and better. And for some reason, they feel like they hit a wall. And the wall is where the zimmers happen, I would imagine. Like all the tippy top people, yes, they care about it, but they still got their stack. They still got their boys that they play with. They are just like so mechanically gifted. They play the game for many hours a day, play the game day in and out. It's their job, whatever. This hurts like all of this. Like the 60, the 70, the 80th percentile. Like this group of people is where it hurts the most. Like you're starting to get good at the game, and I would say like, you know how you have like tier 1 teams like TSM, NRG, so on and so forth, like the big names. Like this level of competition will always be thriving. But for a game to really start popping off, you need to have a good a good tier 2 circuit. So few games have done this well. And this honestly is where like this group of players lies. The guys that can't get on like the number 1 teams. Maybe they're just not good enough. They haven't proven themselves in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, that's just my 2 cents. It hurts that chunk of people that maybe they get off of work and they try to take the game seriously. Maybe they aim train, maybe they don't, or whatever. But whatever the case may be, they're still putting in the hours. And they just hit a wall.
Want to play against that.
In fact, a Siege content creator that recently received an in-game charm, a prestigious award, has received gameplay penalties from the mousetrap system on stream. Between that and the kid gloves in terms of punishment, what sort of message is being sent here even if Ubisoft calls it cheating?
It's like, okay, so we're gonna give a charm to somebody who's on a mouse and keyboard. And it's not like it's like, oh, he's on a mouse and keyboard, like they're just saying that. The guy has literally been caught. Like there's a clip of him getting mousetrapped.
We can obviously debate on how much responsibility these devs have, but there's no question that these devices are having a real impact on their scenes.
They also have to realize that if you were to ban Zims, so many people would come back, because there are so many people that...
God forbid people come back to your game. You don't want that. More people playing your game, more potential buyers of your little microtransactions. Who wants that, dude? Nobody wants that. Come on now. Let's get real. Who wants competitive integrity? That's ridiculous.
Are uninterested in playing the game because of all the Zims, especially the casual scene.
Zim and other adapters are...
Well, I honestly don't think casuals are aware of such cheating devices. They would have to play the game for like a while and then once you play it, it's like, then you start seeing some weird shit happening, and then like, I don't know, it just doesn't happen overnight with casuals. Casuals are probably like the most protected, or like new players and like up to the casual point are like the most protected players in FPS games, because and I agree with it too. It's just that they're not like people that are completely unaware of what a Zim even is, or what a Cronus is, what like paid cheats are, subscribe for cheats, a strike pack is. These players don't even know what those are.
So common now, they're reshaping a lot of games. I mentioned that people say zimming, but it's more than just language. Hand cams are increasingly common in console tournaments because these devices are so easy to get. But in a lot of communities, this battle is really just beginning.
So then I just report it to the Ubisoft devs, and I just say, hey, these are like 5 to 6 different methods that are being used right now. And then I tell them the method, and they try and patch it. Like that's the goal, at least.
And hey, maybe one day Ubisoft or another developer will come in and say, hey,
no,
stop using this or face actual bans. But honestly, we're not counting on it.
No.
I think if it does happen, it won't be for a while.
No.
Because...
No, they don't care. They made the game. If you're in there in the mud of like trying to swim around in the muck that is your favorite FPS's ranked ladder, it's up to you to try to navigate that, to ruin your sleep schedule, to be up upon all these ungodly hours playing the game. It's up to you to climb the dredges of the ranked ladder that's been like diluted by cheaters. All right, that's on you. That's not up to the devs. You want the devs to preserve competitive integrity by banning cheaters? That's too much. They don't get paid enough for that, dude.
In their eyes, they're seeing success with Mousetrap, right? And realistically speaking, there is some success with Mousetrap. So, and
the anti-cheat is called Mousetrap. Jesus Christ. I can't think of anything more childish than Mousetrap. Oh wait, there is one that's just as childish. It's called Ricochet. Oh my god. Bro, there are anti-cheats out there that actually work that you don't have to make. You just license them out. Dude. Oh my god. It's like, that's the most childish name that you could give an anti-cheat. It's a mousetrap where we're going to catch all the rats. Like, oh my god. It's like they're not even taking the issue seriously. They don't give a shit, dude, because they know as long as the top content creators, the top professional players keep playing and streaming and marketing their game, they're just chilling.
In their eyes, they're like, okay, well, we've put all this time into Mousetrap.
Until that day comes, though, we had to let the guys give their parting words to any Zimmers who made it to the end.
Bro, a TLDR, it is going to be like a fuck you Zimming fuck. That's all it's going to be.
It's not fair. Just use a controller.
No, that's not going to be good enough.
Impressed.
If they were on a controller, they would not even be in the same lobby as me, nor all the other controller champions, because I'm not the best in the world, but I'm at the top. And it's like, if they were to use a controller, they would not be in my lobbies, as well as I would also say to them to just go to PC.
Yeah, true. I mean, essentially all they're saying is like, just use the same input, dude. Just play by the same rules. But the cheaters or the Zimmers or whatever aren't gonna, they don't care. They don't care about your feelings.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Dang. All right. I didn't know cheating was that big of a thing on like Rainbow Six. That's news to me. But no, I thought that was a good video though. You know, always trying to put the pressure on the developer to like do something about their anti-cheat is always good for at least the community, but in the developer's eyes, it's just more work for them for very little payoff, because not really have a lot of FPSs implemented such a rigorous anti-cheat besides like the kernel level bullshit with what's the Valorant thing, Vanguard? Is that what's on your computer or some shit like that? Yeah, seldom have FPSs ever been like, or anti-cheats been like that invasive, and they actually like come out on top. So not a lot of people are like willing to put in the time and effort to come out with something that strenuous and strict or whatever. But I mean, it is what it is, dude. I hope nothing but the best for the R6 community. Maybe one day there will be zero cheaters, but today is not that day. But yeah, good video, man. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.